when you take a look at Italy's group, it's an intriguing one, isn't it? Alongside Spain, Croatia and Albania. For more, Gab Marcotti's here, and here, flying the Spanish flag for us, Luis Garcia as well. Gab, who's the better team, Italy or Spain?
I think right now I would say this. Italy may be the defending champions, but I definitely have Spain ahead of Italy.
Look at Luis smiling, isn't it?
he said, Luis's answer is Barcelona.
Yes, only the non-Real Madrid players in their Spain squad. Luis, overall, in Spain, what is the expectations coming in to this tournament, and especially looking ahead to some of the big games within the group, obviously, against these three proper opponents?
Yeah, definitely, guys. And yes, of course, there's not many Real Madrid players that they're going to be involved, but that's not the case. We are talking about transition in Spain. We've been talking about this transition for quite a while. There's a very young team. The expectations are always high because you can see that it's a very talented team with a lot of hunger. The intensity is good. There's a manager who knows them very well since they were at the under-17, under-21. They've been following their careers. And at the moment, they are at the highest level. I mean, if you have a look to the team from yesterday, they won easily against Northern Ireland with Nico Williams playing for Athletic Club de Bilbao, being in the cup of the final of the Copa del Rey, with Lamine Yamal being very important for Barcelona, key player in the whole season. Pedri back again to his best. Yesterday was one of the best games from the past maybe 2 months, right after the injury in the middle of the park. We all know that Rodri probably is one of the best in this position. Fabian Ruiz has done a great job. He's a player who gives you a lot of work into the middle, and at the back is where we got more doubts because we don't know Cucurella. He received the call because there was no Gaya. There was not another player who could be actually called. He has been in and out in the left side, but it's true that he can provide experience of the Premier League, of course. And for me, the most important is that partnership between Nacho, Lenormand, Laporte, player who actually needs to bring that experience to the center of the defender, because there is a couple of problems that we can have up front because we don't have a team that score many goals. Morata is, with some kind of doubting moments with Atletico Madrid, not even playing in the last month and a half. But when he plays for the national team, he provides, he delivers, and he scores goals. And that's something that everyone is expecting. But it's true that at some moments, and yesterday was one of them, we concede easily and we look vulnerable. And those are two options as the one that are a little bit concerning the supporters here in Spain. But definitely this team, I can tell you, can compete against anyone toe-to-toe.
Well, it can compete.
Yeah.
Can it finish?
Well, this is it, isn't it?
I mean, the Spanish chances for me, the defence will be put under some pressure. The Spanish chances of going all the way or a long way or even winning it is going to come down to end product. There's no point continually having this 75% possession if it's tippy-tappy and there's no purpose at the end of it, there's no quality balls in if it's Morata or whoever it is, and they're finishing off this play, these chances, this possession. It's something that hurt Manchester City at the end of the season. In the cup final, in the Champions League, and other games, they had all this possession, but they were very wasteful or lacked some guile, albeit for a team of that quality in the final third. And I think until Spain can change that, it's always going to be a problem. And Luis is right. If they get the service to Alvaro Morata, it's what Alvaro Morata is turning up. In the first 6 months of the season at Atletico Madrid, he was terrific. Him and Griezmann were two of the best players in Spain. They were linking up. He was getting on the end of things. They were getting crosses in the box. He was getting in there. And he looked as if he got his confidence back. And then, for some reason, he lost his way again. The Champions League game against Inter, he was awful. Yeah. He was falling all over the place, got taken off. So a lot of it is going to come down to Pedri, the fitness of him as well. Obviously, he's missed a chunk of the season. But how are they going to take and harness the domination of a game, which they'll probably dominate most games, and take that into end product? And that then takes the pressure off the back line and the goalkeeper. There's nothing worse for a defenders and goalkeepers and holding midfielders if all these chances are getting missed and then you're just getting pressure put on you. And so that's something that Spain haven't remedied in the last few years. And if they don't again, then just quite frankly, they're not going to win this tournament.
But if they do, Shaq, You've got Lamine Yamal, we've seen him a lot, obviously, this season, brilliant.
Yeah.
Williams, fantastic down the left as well. Pedri to try and conduct things and feed those balls through. You have got the possibility of this team going really far.
Listen, I agree with everything that's been said so far. And you look at this Spanish lineup, potential lineup, and there is quality everywhere in the park. I don't think that there's any denying that. And I think Luis did an excellent job in mapping that out in every single position.
I mapped out a bit as well.
I agree. You followed on very nicely.
Very nice.
But I'll also echo what the guys have been saying. Alvaro Morata can finish this tournament as leading scorer or no goals. Anywhere in between with Alvaro Morata. And that's the issue. There is simply no consistency from him in terms of a player. And yes, I know he's been marginally better for the national team than he has been certainly of late with his club team. But you just don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And it's so key. And I've said this time and time again, which Craig just pointed to, as a defensive unit, it's really hard to keep clean sheets when you cannot rely on your attacking outfit to score goals. That may ultimately come back to cost Spain, because you look at it, and also when you look at the squad in greater depth, if Morata is misfiring, who do you call on? Can he play two up front?
You know who you call on?
Ooh.
Real Madrid's hero of the semi-final. Yes.
Really? Well,
there you go.
Again.
You could do it against Bayern.
Similar complaint about Alvaro Morata. Joselu will grab it too late on, or the ball will hit him in the back of his heel and stay out. You just don't know what you're going to get.
I went to the Euros in 2012.
Oh, well done.
Watching Spain.
Good for you.
Watching Spain and I think it was Fabregas. It might be wrong. I think Fabregas played up front, certainly in the early games. And so, but that was a great. I mean, not that this is a bad Spanish side, but it's not a great Spanish side. And in that era, they made it work. Yeah. They were able to adapt and they made it work. And somehow they figured it out and still created a host of chances and were successful. But I just don't know if this side has the adaptability to maybe play that way without a Joselu or a Morata and make it work for them at that level, and that's going to be the big question.
Why were you rudely laughing when Luis was talking, Gab?
Oh, no. I was gearing myself up because, well, I think Spain are far more talented overall than Italy are probably going to go further in the tournament. I was reminded of their centre backs and the combination of, Aymeric Laporte, Nacho at his age and after a long season, Laporte, of course, who's been sunning himself in Saudi, Robin Lenormand, so they got to go to France to go and get their own centre backs. And he brings up Cucurella as well. So I thought to myself, okay, all right, there's one area of the pitch where we can hold our own against Spain.
Luis, what's a successful tournament for Spain?
I get a good one. I will say quarterfinals and maybe semifinals. I think that it will be already a success. But again, it's a team, and the guys are totally right on this. It's a team that maybe they can have problems to score goals. Maybe we don't know how they are going to compete because it's a very young team and they need to be there and feel the pressure because it's not the same playing against Andorra or against the line to be there. But it's a team that is bold. It doesn't have anything to lose. It's a very young team who is very hungry of doing something well because there's been a lot of talks about if this team doesn't have the same quality from 2012 or 2010. And that's something that, of course, hurts the players. And I can tell you this. If you get Spain in a good day, they can beat anyone because they got the talent, they got the ability to have the ball, the possession. Is fantastic on this team. If you have a look with Rodri, can manage the whole center of the midfield. They got the part of the legs. That is something that I think that he's been missing. The speed on the wide area and, of course, the muscle into the middle. And now you got Fabian Ruiz that can give you that. You got Merino that can give you that. Also Rodri that they cover a lot of pace into the middle. And also Pedri who can bring you not only the fitness-wise because he's a box-to-box player when he's fit, but also the quality to bring ball to the players up front. So I have to say that even though we got concerns and arriving to quarterfinal it will be already a good result, I don't stop this team to go further away because if you have a look to all the competition and all the teams that they are going to be involved, all of them, and I'm saying all of them, maybe one or two, they are struggling to scoring goals. Everyone is very focusing on holding very well, have a good and defensive side to try to don't concede and see if we can score one or two goals. But all of them are having problems because there is no anymore those players who can score 2 and 3 goals every game. Players who can score many goals during the tournament. We are talking back in the years when 10, 12 goals during a tournament could be possible. We are talking about a tournament where it's going to be more often seen that are good defensive, and I'm talking about Italy, for example, right now, that they are also not having a centre forward who can score goals. Scamacca is going to be probably the player who is going to be up front trying to lead that, or Maya to the other team. But all of them, they are going to struggle to score goals, and that's something that we're going to see from the first game of the competition.
The only one that's not going to struggle is to score goals, obviously, Harry Kane in England, and that's why they're probably going to win it.
All right, yes, we're
talk
about
Lewis, I'm only joking, Lewis. I'm only joking.
Right, we'll talk about England maybe a little later on. You keep bringing them up.
Today?
You've brought them up twice already for no particular reason.
I'm building them up so they're going to have that big fall.
Italian fans don't need reminding how...
What about Scotland?
how much of a roller coaster they've been on over recent years. Of course, didn't qualify for the World Cup, had to qualify for the playoffs. So they're defending champions, though, of the Euros. Given everything, Gab, what's a good tournament for Italy?
I mean, look, I think a good tournament would be minimum quarterfinals. You still have to think, you still have to remember who you are. You remember you're the defending champions. Yeah, it's absolutely scary when you think that up front, you're relying on Gianluca Scamacca, who is incredibly inconsistent. And look, if you get the Anfield version of Scamacca, then you're sitting pretty. If you get some of the other Scamaccas, not so good. But also, in that sort of attacking core, other than Federico Chiesa, who seems to be made of glass and is injured all the time, although knock on wood, he'll stay fit for the tournament, there isn't much to shout about. So while I think the midfield's pretty good, I think the defense is solid, lots of options. I think the goalkeeper's great. There is that issue. And even, by the way, a pretty good midfield against, you play a midfield like Spain's, or frankly, even Croatia with Brozovic and Modric and Pasalic, you may not see the ball for very, very long stretches.
You could talk about this, what's a good tournament for some of these, we call them the elite level countries. They might not be at the level they once were, no matter who it was, Spain, Italy, England, whoever, Germany, France. But you talk about it, quarterfinals, semi-finals. But in a good tournament, if you get to quarter-final and get knocked out and you've got in the side of the draw and your opponent's weaker, then it changes, doesn't it?
Yes.
You get the semi-final and you're England, you get knocked out by
there it is again.
Perceived weaker side, or Italy. I'm just suggesting.
There it is. Every possibility.
Or Scotland, because if Scotland get to the semi-finals and get knocked out by a weaker opponent, then
what, is there a weaker opponent?
I think we must be at the wrong tournament.
You mentioned Croatia, Gab. There are a few that have got a better record in international tournaments of late. When you take a look at what they've achieved, obviously semi-finals of the World Cup, made it to the final of the World Cup back in 2018. What do we expect from this side? Obviously an ageing side.
Yeah, look, I mean, you have that core of players. When are the next guys gonna step up? I'm really curious to see what Brozovic can bring, because again, he's been off my radar all season. In fact, all the guys who play in Saudi, what condition are they going to be like? Are they going to be in when they come back here? When you consider the change in climate and conditions, certainly they're always a very, very tough out. I think they're going to need Andre Kramaric to score goals for them, because I think that potentially could be an issue. The talent's there in midfield, and obviously at the back you have Guardiola, you still have Livakovic around in goal. So it's a really, really solid nucleus that feels like a club side, because many of them have been together for so long.
Let's take a look then at the odds when it comes to Spain and Italy to go on and win it. Also,
for God's sake.
Spain are sitting 5th.
England again.
Right, I don't make the odds. Spain are sitting 5th. Italy, meanwhile, sitting 6th. Croatia, 8th. 30 to 1. Or 9th, sorry, 30 to 1. That looks pretty tasty. Overall, I suppose, Luis, if I asked you, out of Spain, Italy and Croatia, who will go the furthest, you might suggest it will be Spain.
Yes, I would like to think that yes,
Yeah.
but Croatia is a team that has got a lot of experience. That centre midfielder Gabriel was mentioned is fantastic, and up front this time there is not looking for a player to try to, because Kramaric is a player who likes to play also in the wide areas, not maybe a centre forward, but with Budimir, that has been one of the top scorers in La Liga. We follow him with Osasuna during the whole season. It's been fantastic. So I arrive with that confidence. So it could be a player who can make the difference right up front, because you are surrounded by top talent players who are going to be assisting you all the time, and a team that likes to have the ball. So I wouldn't say I saw Croatia in that list, and even I could see them going further forward, because they know how to win a tournament. They know how to be in that kind of situation, in tough situation with a lot of pressure. And they have so much experience with those players they just mentioned, with Modric, Perisic, Brozovic. They have been there. They know what it is, and they can help the younger ones to know what it is to be in a situation like this one. So yeah, I would like to see Spain going further forward, but I'm not moving away Croatia, because I like that team.
Before I let you go, Luis, how was Glen Eagles?
Tough, mate.
Yeah.
Tough. That's a difficult course, I have to say.
Yeah. Have you played?
It was beautiful. It's a nice, green, lovely day. Difficult.
I bet he got his own golf clubs to play, though.
Oh, yes. That's for extra time, actually. We'll be discussing Craig's golf clubs. Thank you very much to Gav and Luis.